I saw Phantom of the Megaplex, and Steve, you saw a movie as well that was Disney.
Mom's Got a Date
That's
with
right.
a Vampire.
You did see that movie because that exists.
Yes, it does.
We have to convince Charlie that our movies were actually good. Let's see who wins.
Are you ready for Movie Versus? Welcome to Movie Versus, the podcast where we pin two terrible movies in an all-out battle for the best of the worst. Here are your hosts, Tyler Lamb, Charlie Pixley, and Steve Channing. All on Movie Versus!
What's up, everybody? My name is Tyler Lamb. This is Movie Versus, the podcast in defense of bad movies, and I am here with my co-host, Steve Janik. Steve, how's it going, Steve?
It's going pretty good, aside from the fact that we're doing Disney Channel original movies this week,
And
none of them are bad.
Oh, I was going to say...
Literally none of them.
And you weren't allowed to watch all of them. That's the...
Yes. I did anyway.
And we watched those movies. We watched those movies for the other co-host, Charlie Pixley. What's up, Chuck?
Well, we're headed towards the end of October, and I was already scared enough.
This is coming out in November. Actually, I was so sad when
when we're recording, so we're headed
Correct.
towards the end of October. I was already pretty scared because of all the spooky Halloween stuff, and then Steve has to go and tag me in a post on Facebook and scare me even more.
Oh,
that
shit, was there a
Uwe Boll is done directing movies.
Oh yeah, I mean, we can do that. We can do a.
Probably should do like 5 seconds of silence for him or something.
Let's remember that this man, he means it this time. He said it before that he's quitting movies, but he's doing it for real this time.
Just like Michael Jordan.
His final movie is
So he's gonna go play baseball.
his final bad movie is the end of a trilogy, the Rampage movies, I believe.
Sure.
Yeah, no,
I guess.
I mean, I'm getting a little choked up. If you guys have some words to say,
I will say, I know you mentioned it, Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
In that article, I don't know if you guys read it. They said that when he gave that deal about like, if you were a real critic, you could fight him. He apparently beat the shit out of 4 people.
Oh yeah,
because of that.
That's pretty great, though. Actually, if somebody voluntarily goes to fight him,
I think he was
a
a trained fighter,
Yeah.
and he was fighting internet movie critics.
That's fine with me. They volunteered to do it.
Yeah,
he
they
did not
did.
seek them
They
down
did.
and beat
It's
their
true.
ass. These are idiots that didn't do the research.
It's
No, I
true.
agree.
Because I think when it first happened, people tried to make him seem like the asshole. And it's like, no, they were like, yeah, I'll fight him.
Like he's
Let's
making
go.
he's making bad movies, but this is on them.
Yes,
Exactly.
correct.
But Steve, you said he's making bad movies. He is not anymore, and
Now he probably just makes like bad home pornos.
we will forever miss him because
Is there such a
Like,
thing,
yeah, I would
Charlie?
say like there's a bad home porno.
I mean, he's been living I'm assuming his career was to try his best to become the next Tommy Wiseau. Tommy Wiseau was one and done.
They
He
both
was
got
able to
weird
do it and
names
get
too.
out. They do. But yeah, I think that I think we're done with this topic. Sorry. He's done, guys. He's done.
I can't even get sad because
After he couldn't get 2 of his films kickstarted. That was when he first quit, and then he's quitting again. Because,
All right, guys, I can see what you're doing. You're not wanting me to be involved in this by
Well,
not giving me
They
money.
always say get out while you're on top, and he's been on top so many times that he's tried to quit.
Well, I think that he offered
because
to,
movie theater, like money you make at the movie theater, like it's golf rules. You have to make as little as possible.
Yeah, exactly. I think that he offered to direct the World of Warcraft movie, and they were like,
No.
no, thanks. And he was like, I guess they just don't want it to be a bad movie. Like, I think he actually said that. I think he's self-aware. And so I got to give him props there that he's given up on. I mean, if he's self-aware that his movies are bad, he was still just going out and doing what he loved to do.
I probably
regardless of whether or not they were good or bad. He was like, "Hey, I love making these. I love making movies. I'll work with Dominic Purcell and do a Wall Street movie, which he said was better
Yes.
than Money Never Sleeps or Money Never Talks. Money Never Sleeps with
Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf. He was like, my Wall Street movie is better than Wall Street. Money Never Sleeps, which isn't really setting the bar high.
Yeah.
But he's like, it's better than Oliver
Like
Stone.
I was when I was reading
Well,
that,
the
it was like it's better than Wall Street. I was like, what? But it was continued on the next line, and it was like Money Never Sleeps. I was like, oh, okay, good.
Yeah,
because the first Wall Street's pretty solid.
Well, I mean,
That
yeah,
movie's awesome.
that's back when Oliver Stone was actually on a fucking roll. Like he's been pretty rocky lately since like W on, but because the greatest president of all time deserves a better movie about himself. But whatever.
He's got Club W now, so.
What?
You guys continue this for a second while I take a drink.
What's Club Dub?
It's something from Bill Burr's podcast. He does ads for this company, and he
Wow.
always pretends like it's
Advertising
George
another
Bush's,
podcast on our podcast. Wow.
Okay.
Sure, it's an amazing podcast.
Let's get
I
into
do
the
love Bill
actual.
Burr.
Let's get into the actual podcast here. After we had
Oh,
that
hold on,
moment,
I
of-
was gonna say that I probably actually would have seen World of Warcraft had he directed it.
Oh,
they
yeah,
probably
I mean-
they would have gotten money from me then.
I
saw it and it
still
was all right.
have yet to see the finished product, which I'm still interested in seeing. But instead, I saw Phantom of the Megaplex, and Steve, you saw Mommy's Got a Date with a
just
Vampire.
mom, just mom.
No, it's
don't
Mommy,
make
right?
Don't make it weird.
No,
Mommy's got a date with a vampire.
Like
What's weird about that?
I mean, you answered your own question.
but Tyler saw it. Daddy's got a date with Mickey Rooney.
I think it was just Mickey Rooney looking in the mirror and being like, "Oh, will you go out on a date with me? Of course." Because he might have been senile on the recording of this film.
which is weird because this movie was done like what, 3 or at least a couple years before Night at the Museum, which Mickey Rooney was also in.
Senile and
Easily.
he was also, sorry, I gotta tell the listeners that when you said he was also in, when you said in, you did air quotes. So just so everybody listening to the podcast
I'm
knows.
pretty sure he thought Robin Williams really was Teddy Roosevelt.
Oh, Teddy, my old pal.
Yeah.
Charlie, I'll give you the reins. You're the moderator this time. We have to convince Chuck. If this is the first time listening to the podcast, I'm sorry.
I like that you always you're like, oh crap, I should tell people how this works today.
Yeah, I mean, you never know, dude. It's every podcast is somebody's first podcast.
Well,
and
no, I just think
this
it's always
is-
funny
if
that
this
you
is your first podcast. I
forget to
apologize.
do it.
Could be somebody's last.
My God.
I hope somebody out there listens to this podcast and they think it is so bad they're like, I swear I'll podcast forever.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say they just killed themselves. This
no,
is so
I
bad.
no.
We're not that bad at this.
pretty hard.
We've come a long way.
All right, Chuck, take the fucking reins. We gotta
Steve,
get on track.
Steve, describe your movie.
Okay, so
shit.
I mean, the title says it all. Mom's got a date with the vamp. No,
Explain.
What happens is there's this kid and he really likes horror movies. He's a real horror movie head, and he wants to go see a concert that weekend. His friend gets backstage passes to this concert of.
The way you set that up made it sound like he wants to go see this horror movie that comes out. It's like
Nope.
loves horror movies. He loves horror movies, so he wants to go to this concert.
Well, it's like every good movie set around Halloween, the band just has a needlessly horror-themed name. It's the Headless Horseman.
Okay.
So
That's
he wants,
pretty good.
Is it
band
just
name.
one man or is it?
I think it's the Headless Horsemen.
Okay, fair enough.
Still
So-
not a bad band name.
Yeah,
No, it's
his friend his friend's brother works at the radio station, so that he's gonna get him backstage passes. And he's supposed to be doing a report on the person he admires most, but he doesn't do it. But he has a tabloid that has a story about a witch hunter named Malachi Van Helsing, not your regular old Van Helsing.
Is he a child or is he an adult?
Who, Van Helsing?
Yeah, Malachi Van Helsing.
Malachi, he's an adult. He's he's portrayed by.
Okay, I think when I first heard this, I imagined like he was just in class with him. And he was like, oh god,
the person I admire most, Malachi Van Helsing in the corner.
Malachi Van Helsing late to class again.
No,
God,
it's
what were you doing? Why is your shirt all red?
No, it's a tabloid article about Van Helsing, who is a vampire hunter. So he tells a story about that, and he goes home, and his mom who, despite being a working mom,
Why
trying
would
to
there be a tabloid article about
because it's vampire. It's like
like
about
a
vampire
Bat Boy situation?
Yeah, like
Okay.
because they're not gonna be like, oh, today in the news, guy thinks he hunts vampires.
Well, I guess I was thinking more like tabloids, like just celebrity stuff. But
No,
they also do the
no.
weird
Yeah,
shit.
it was more like-
Oprah
yeah.
Winfrey is a robot.
Yes,
Oprah
it was one of
Winfrey
those.
is a vampire hunter.
No, she can't pull that off.
I mean, you don't have faith in Oprah and Gail?
Well, no, it's because robots have no like built-in programming that makes them seek vampires. So
Right.
Oh, okay, fair enough, yeah.
Fair enough. Anyway, so his mom, who despite raising a family of 3 by herself because she's a divorcee, she's just home at all hours of the day apparently. So he gets back.
she just deals drugs.
Yes. He comes home and she's
She
like,
just deals drugs.
yes. She's like, so your teacher called. You're grounded for the weekend. I was like, Mom, I got tickets to this concert. Too bad. And his sister's like, ha, geek, whatever. And Mom's like, oh man, he's a geek. You're grounded too.
So this is
like, screw all you
This
guys.
is another Oprah Winfrey scenario where she's like, you
But
get a grounding. You get a grounding.
ground. Yeah, exactly like that. So because the sister had a date and he had this concert to go to, so they decide that in order to go to these events, they're gonna get their mom a date so she can go out
With the president's daughter.
No.
Oh.
Clearly a vampire. So they try and get her a date so that they can sneak out after she leaves. And they do so by going to the most reputable of sources, the classified ads in the newspaper, which may still exist. I don't know. It's 2016 now.
Oh, let's try
emailing a man.
Let's try a classified ad. Okay, it's our mom looking for a man, so we'll put M for M.
Mom for man.
Let's see what ads we get or what replies we get.
So they email
Have little boy.
So they email this guy. They basically tell him. They
They had
basically
to sift
say
through thousands of replies.
they emailed this one guy, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna get our mom to go to the supermarket. Meet us there. Like, run into her. We don't want her to know that we're doing this, but we want you to meet her." And he turns out to be a vampire, and tries to turn her into one of his undead minions with his old vampire mind powers. And the rest of the movie is the kids trying to stop that from happening.
I think we've all dealt with that before.
And of course, the vampire hunter comes in to save the day. At the end, that's how the movie ends.
So now,
Who then, by the way, takes over on that date. He's like,
what do you mean
He
takes
slides right in.
like he's like at the very end,
he
like
gets his
like
dick wet.
the sun's coming up, and they're like, oh man, I could go for pancakes. Like, have you eaten breakfast? Like, clearly not. He was just fighting a vampire. And he was like, I could go for some pancakes. And so they just, like, go home and I'm assuming they get married later that day. There is a wedding later that evening.
And Charlie's looking at me now, so I guess it's my turn to describe my film. Well, Mickey Rooney is in it. And there you go.
And yeah, that's all I got.
No, it's
And I'm checked out.
In the titular role.
God damn it. Mickey Rooney is not the Phantom of the Megaplex.
Okay.
If I recall, I remember the trailer saying, like, Mickey Rooney is the Phantom of the Megaplex.
It says who's starring as and Mickey Rooney as Phantom of the Megaplex. No. So it starts out with one of those classics like, that's me. I'm Riley, and I'm 17, and I'm the assistant manager of this Megaplex movie theater. And the reason there's a phantom theory is because there was the original theater was demolished in some really pre-9/11 9/11 footage of just a building coming to the ground.
I really, oh god, I feel like such a terrible person. In my head, I'm like, what did they use? Did they use the regular
Cessna.
Did they use the regular like TNT or a plane? Like, was that their mode? Was that their mode of destruction?
I mean, they did both. They had to make sure that thing got down. And they and the theory.
I mean, it had steel beams in it, so there had to be controlled explosions.
Exactly. Dick memes can't melt steel beams, dude. And they where like, the original owner was like in the basement, and so he survived because I don't know, bullshit like that. And then they are hosting this movie. It's like Mayhem at Midnight or Midnight Mayhem, and it's like a movie premiere with director and all that stuff. And the big boss is coming down. The guy who owns the place is actually coming as well.
Ganondorf.
Ganondorf himself. He's coming and
like regular Ganondorf or like giant pig monster Ganondorf.
That's later when he gets rid. Spoilers, but he turns into Ganon when. But when him and Mickey Rooney face off, because Mickey Rooney's not the Phantom, so they wouldn't face off. But they are fuck. Where was I? Oh yeah, that's right. They are trying to like put on this hosting and all this stuff, and they're like, okay, we got to make sure everything goes right. The big boss is going to be here. We got to put on a show, all this crap, and the stuff is being sabotaged. And they're like, who's doing it? And this little kid's like, it's the Phantom at the Megaplex strikes again. And they're like, shut up, you little shit. But then they
the next time I'm at a theater and like
hijinks occur.
Like the lights stay on, or like something happens with the screen. We're like, the Phantom of the Megaplex strikes
that would
again.
ruin my night. I'd be furious.
There are definite moments where you would imagine a whoop, 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 whoop,
The old Zoidberg
sound effect to happen while somebody slips and falls.
I think we should add that in.
Just
an
an
exact copy of the movie, just with that sound effect added occasionally.
Tripping over gumballs.
Okay, I'm going to do a little combination question here.
All right, let's do it.
So what is the best physical humor gag and the scariest moment?
I mean,
Charlie's looking at me expectantly.
they can go one and the same. I was terrified at how good this physical humor gag was.
So for me, probably the best physical humor. I guess there were,
or if you're sorry, Steve, or if you're still under the impression that Mickey Rooney is the Phantom of the Megaplex, any moment with him being the Phantom could be qualified as physical humor, and them trying to be scary, or scary because
that's just like fourth wall breaking, like they're trying to trick the audience too.
Yeah. I was gonna say, or scary because Mickey Rooney he's
a damn fine actor.
I am frightened of how much I
shit.
enjoy his work.
Name one thing he's been in besides Phantom of the Megaplex.
16 Candles.
Night at the Museum.
Damn.
Thank God.
Go ahead, Steve.
Anyway.
He was in 16 Candles, right? Because he plays
have
the Asian.
no
he plays the
clue.
Asian guy, right?
I don't know if
He plays the Asian guy?
Oh
I'm
no, you're
serious.
you're thinking of Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yeah, that one.
Because he's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, it's
Yes,
like a
that's it.
super racist
Yes.
stereo. Like it is.
Oh God.
It is rough. it is like
It's
I mean,
like buck teeth.
yeah, buck teeth, bowl cut, and like
And
yeah.
does he have like just the super thick rim glasses for no reason?
I think so. No,
Oh
it
my
is
Like
like
a Coke bottle.
it's like if
glasses.
you went.
Holy crap.
Yeah, it is.
Like
It's rough. It is.
It's like
I
full
forgot.
on like, hello.
I forgot that was Mickey
Wow.
Rooney. That is no, yeah, it's bad.
Like I
Like
said,
that
he's
is
a damn fine actor.
that was
a hell of a scholar.
that wasn't his fault. That was the script's.
yeah, sure.
So the best physical comedy is when they know that their mom's under his control, they decide they have to try and cut things off. They know where he lives because he mentioned where he was staying, because there's like a big mansion down by the lake, and he's like, I bought the place down by the lake and I'm fixing it up. So they go there.
He's fixing up a mansion.
Yeah, by himself, like just real do-it-yourselfer type.
Who let a mansion get run down?
I don't know.
Yeah, how does that happen?
Either way, they go there and they find his coffin and they're trying to move it and they just can't because it's a coffin. So the brother
Are coffins notably heavy? Like, is that?
I mean, they're big. They're big and they're made of.
It's a lot of dead weight. Oh, see you guys.
And Charlie just left the like that's
because Charlie won the podcast forever. So
God damn.
they can barely pick it up. So clearly the plan is to hoist it in the air and throw it out the window.
Oh well, duh.
Did it go through a window?
Oh yeah,
Or like the glass? They broke
no.
it? Oh,
It was the window was open. But then they go downstairs and there's
Please tell me it was a coffin-sized window. And
was-
they threw it sideways not long.
no, oh my
It's a
God.
coffin-shaped window.
Yeah.
Vertically.
It made it real easy.
1, 2.
And I'm guessing, did they show it bounce off the ground? Like, I would imagine it doesn't get
they
wedged.
didn't-
It just
it's-
bounces like a
it's weird.
styrofoam
It's-
prop would.
It's weird because they don't show that part. They like it just cuts to them like he basically just like I got an idea, and then like the next scene is them down below like dragging it towards the lake because as you know they're trying to get it on the lake because vampires can't cross water except for in their coffin, so they're getting it on the lake.
I didn't know that.
To keep them away. It's one of the many tropes, or at least one of the tropes that kind of pops up here and there in vampire lore. So they're dragging it down there, and as they're dragging it towards the lake, their mom comes back with the guy, and they're like in the same shot. It'd be like if they were filming in the side of this room, like into the kitchen. Like you can see easily where it is, but they freeze and they just like hide behind the coffin. But if you looked over there, they'd be like, "Why is my coffin?"
Just one
Out
of many
here.
similarities
And they were-
between vampires and Tyrannosaurus Rex.
And they were just crouching behind it. Their heads were
Yeah.
kind of...
And he even like looks around the corner at one point.
And did a little...
Yeah. And then so he goes inside and they just toss the coffin down the stairs and it just tumbles like all over the place. And I'm
Like coffins do.
yeah, as coffin, like your general coffin tumble. And just
Is
like
that
falls
one of
down
those
towards the
newfangled
water.
dances, the coffin tumble? Do the coffin tumble.
I mean, we should probably get that going. So that was one, and the other one is at the end when Van Helsing comes to help him out. He flies directly at Van Helsing, and Van Helsing just kind of backhands him, just real easy, just way too easy. And Carolyn Ray punches him in the face and forces him to fall into his coffin.
Oh,
at which
shit.
point Van Helsing whips out his ready to go silver-plated nail gun and locks him inside his own coffin.
If only he would have just unloaded that nail gun into his face.
Pump a few
Yeah.
into his head.
Which they do the real classy thing, and during the credits, it's still,
Shit on his grave.
No, it's
During-
audio.
That's the entire credits. Is just each one of them taking a shit on.
They need to eat some more fiber. Jesus Christ.
But during the credits, he's like pounding on the cover, like "Happy Halloween, but let me out!" Like just one of
Well,
those.
at least he's considerate. He's saying happy
Yeah,
Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Wait,
But
that was an after credits.
Yeah, it was like a during credits
shit.
sequence.
Oh, I didn't have a stinger at all. I didn't have any.
Marvel fucking stealing.
Right.
their thunder.
Exactly.
But then the scariest thing would be after that scene that we saw in the trailer where the kid throws the baseball at him at the fair. He throws a baseball at the back of his head, and up until this point, he's used his powers, but like he hasn't done any of the speed stuff. And he hits him in the back of the head. He turns around, sees the kid, and is immediately behind him, and just like grabs him. He's like, "So, what are you doing over here?" It's
you
just
alone?
super creepy because all of a sudden you're like, "Oh yeah, I cannot do anything against this
Yeah,
person.
this dude
like I am
will kill me if he wants to.
super outclassed."
Okay, well, physical humor, I would have to say. And you said it can't be in the trailers, or was that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to go with. There's a scene. One of the sabotages was. I was kind of shocked by this. They actually have clips from the movie Twister that was playing in one of the theaters.
That's where half the budget went.
Which is
Yeah,
funny because that was a Universal picture and not a Disney production.
Yeah, no, and it's the scene where the cow is like flying at, and because they do make when the cow flies, everybody's like, "Ooh!" And I think
that is the twisterest scene in that movie.
it's the twist.
Twisteriest.
Twist.
But what
mind.
what the Phantom of the Megaplex decides to do, Charlie, I know you're like not Mickey Rooney. Decides
Whatever.
he puts on an industrial fan, so everybody is just getting so like, oh shit, what the fuck? And this guy that's like probably halfway through the audience is just like picking up all the popcorn that's flying towards him. He's getting hit in the face by a lot of. He's just like, oh,
By a lot of shit.
I didn't say it because I knew you were gonna.
Oh my god.
But every
that
now
would
and
be
then,
one of the funniest scenes I've ever seen.
every
He
now
he pulled out an industrial fan and then crapped into it.
So the shit hit the fan. Literally.
Yes, he's really up in the stakes
and
on
he's-
shenanigans.
But this guy's like,
And you know Mickey Rooney's shit stinks.
Mickey Rooney is not the Phantom, but he
Contributed
he's
to.
getting the shit.
He is a team player when it comes to this situation.
He's movie Mason in the movie. Movie Mason. And this guy like keeps catching popcorn in his mouth. He's like, and
Probably
it's, like,
also caught
every now and
a
then.
lot of dirt and lint in his mouth.
Maybe, but you gotta
You gotta do what you gotta do for
gotta risk
free
it for the
single
biscuit.
kernels of popcorn.
Risk it for the biscuit. And then the creepiest moment would have to be when Mickey Rooney first came on scene. No,
No. Yes, that's
When
it.
his birth.
his birth into the movie. They actually did an entire scene of this character.
No, it's actually when he first came on screen. It's the first
When he
sabotage
first-
he does.
when he first came on screen.
That's what I was implying.
Oh shit! Yeah, no, I was kind of focusing on the.
Yeah.
Damn. Anyway, this one girl was in a hallway between like where they put up all the
What the fuck is that on the screen?
Jeez. Why is it chunky?
Are you kidding me? It'd be dust at this point.
Powdered milk.
What is floating between the projector and the? But we were. I don't know why I said we.
You'd be breathing that in. That's so gross.
It's like the black lung. It'd be the white lung.
God damn. God. So, anyway, this girl's.
How does it feel, bitch?
Exactly.
Anyway, this girl is walking down the hallway, and it's like houses on either side, and where the displays are, and one of the displays for one of the movies, it's like Farmer Brown, I think is the name of the movie, and it's like one of those standees of a. Well, she hears, she's like, "Oh shit, is the Phantom here? I'm terrified. I'm gonna run away. I didn't see anything."
Is there an echo? She's like,
And she-
Phantom.
No, you heard the like dee-dee. And she's like, and no, hold on a second. We have the resident Disney movie expert, roommate Kevin here. Roommate Kevin, we're gonna ask you right now. First off, are you here right now?
Yes.
Second off, is Mickey Rooney the Phantom of the Megaplex?
Most definitely. No, I'm just kidding. He's not.
So you gotta go with your heart.
While we got you here, Kevin, is there another Kevin around that makes you roommate Kevin and he's just the regular Kevin?
No, it's just different levels of
Yeah,
drunkenness.
Kevin Nealon lives with them.
Yeah, dude, Kevin Nealon's in the basement, man, and he's
Okay, first of all, there's a basement.
yeah.
And
Cellar, dungeon, basement.
and we have full access to Kevin Nealon. We have yet to have him on the show.
Oh yeah, no, I figured he just does his own thing.
It was a conscious decision.
I like Kevin Nealon. You know what I don't like?
I mean, he's busy
do
with
too.
weeds.
Mickey
I
Rooney.
guess.
Wish.
So yeah, I had the resident Disney expert, movie expert on here to prove to you that Mickey
That
Rooney.
means nothing to me.
Anyway,
all
I have seen as many Disney movies as he has. I assure you.
I doubt that.
I don't know because I'm pretty sure I've seen them all. So I'm sure we both have seen them all. Steve probably has too.
I mean, yeah.
So I'm the lay here. I'm the lay person.
I don't
Yeah.
know if you have seen them all or not.
I have not seen anyway.
I know I haven't seen them all, but I've seen a lot.
I mean, it's not Luck of the Irish we're talking about, so I'm not an expert. Anyway, This movie. So what the fuck was I talking about? She's in the hallway.
Yes.
And she's like, "Oh my God, Phantom's here! I better run away!" And then all of a sudden, you see on the little standee of the one farmer dude, the eyes like kind of turn around, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's creepy. I'm spooky scared." And that's about it.
I too am spooky
Oh
scared.
shit, that's creepy. I'm
Chills.
spooky scared.
Chills down my spine.
That's a short distance for Mickey Rooney.
It took way too long for me to answer that fucking question.
I regret nothing.
Let's just go to the next one, please.
All right.
I'm fairly positive that everything we said was worth it.
Y'all are talking too much smack on Mickey Rooney.
Okay.
Let's be honest.
To be fair,
It would be overkill for a man that small. He can only handle so much smack. Okay, how would your movies be different if the main villain were played by Tom Green?
What?
I mean,
Tom Green? Well, there would be a lot more fingering.
in mind,
There's already a lot in your movie.
Well, Mickey Rooney stars, and there are children.
Oh, you no longer have room to talk about us making fun of Mickey Rooney because you just stepped it up.
Child molestation.
Yeah, you definitely. If there's a line, you definitely crossed it.
The door was open. I had to go in.
That's how he phrases it.
I guess for my movie, I'm not gonna go with the very obvious Freddy got fingered joke. I'm gonna go with
Because I already took it, bitch.
yeah, and I'm gonna go with the only other joke possible when referencing Tom Green.
Oh, his bum is on his lips?
Yep.
Go ahead.
That instead he puts his bum on stuff. A lot more of that in this film.
That's the only difference.
No, it's exact same script. It's just he's talking, but his butt is on like a person while he's talking to Carolyn Ray. He just backs up into her and starts talking to her, and it's like no reference to what's happening, just that.
Well, for me, first off, Charlie, it doesn't work with your theory because that would mean Mickey Rooney would be replaced altogether in this film if you are that adamant that he is the villain, which he is not.
Well,
But
Tom Green would just play him then.
he would play Mickey Rooney?
Yeah.
He would play. Yeah, Tom Green would play Mickey Rooney,
Which is
playing
just
movie Mason.
Tom Green cannot play anything other than Tom Green, so it would be him playing Mickey Rooney, but it would still be Tom Green.
There would be a lot less subtlety. There would be a lot less of him flowing up the cape and disappearing behind a corner. He would definitely just kind of dance around a little bit and be like, "Oh,
Phantom wants another sausage."
Phantom in the Megaplex," and then he would kind of just shimmy out of the.
Instead of like the actual Phantom mask, he would have a piece of cheese over the side of his face. For anyone listening that has no idea what we're talking about, do your best to watch Freddy Got Fingered.
I've never seen it.
Me neither.
Probably it's not an easy watch for most people. I know several people who walked out of it in theaters.
It's not an easy watch for people who enjoy pleasant things.
I mean, there's a real rough scene where his friend breaks his leg in a compound fracture, and he gets down and licks the bone.
I bet Tom Green is actually really fucking awesome to hang out with.
I mean, he was married to Drew Barrymore for a while.
For like a minute.
Yeah, no, I mean for a while.
Actually, it really was
Yeah.
a good amount of time. Much longer than I was anticipating when I heard it happened.
Correct. Because she's a Charlie Angel.
Yeah, and that's when he was married to her.
Mm-hmm. All right, Charlie, what do you got next? fucking Tom.
I was
Cruise.
gonna ask if there were any steamy sex scenes in this movie, but
But
you
you
already
already know.
mentioned Mickey Rooney fingering children in your movie.
I didn't say
To be fair,
no,
that,
I said,
that wasn't Stevie.
It was. It was forced.
It was art.
This part has gotten clearly away from us.
Hey, listen, Mickey Rooney. I had a sex scene with the Phantom, so that was real steamy. Other than
So
It was him jerking off in a mirror, in front of a mirror, and in a mirror
no,
world.
because he did the
He used his Phantom mask to enter the mirror realm.
he caressed the Phantom and he told him it's all right. He said, it's okay. I'm here. You can be yourself with me. And he lifted the mask.
Of course, you can always be yourself with
And it was,
yourself.
and he lifted the mask, and it was himself. It was Mickey Rooney, and
Yes.
everyone was shocked. It was very M. Night Shyamalan before that was a
Oh,
thing.
it was like that episode of Boy Meets World. Exactly. I think that they might have ripped it off. If I were Fred Savage, I would sue. Even though it was Ben Savage.
Because you need
Yeah.
money.
Yeah, Fred Savage. Fred Savage was in an episode of Boy Meets World.
Yeah, he was in a couple.
Yeah,
And-
because he
and-
played the professor that was
that-
like trying to bang Topanga, and
That was a super
Ben Savage
weird-
was like, "Fuck you," and they got into a fight.
Yeah.
And you were like, "You guys look a lot alike."
But then recently, Fred Savage was in that movie or in that TV show that got
That was the
canceled.
Wonder Years, Steve. That aired a long time ago.
No, not that one. I'm talking about that show, The Grinder, with him and Rob
Oh,
Lowe.
with Rob Lowe, that's right.
That-
it was about that app.
I thought Ben was in that one.
No, it's Fred
that was
Savage.
Fred.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yeah, and it was
But,
about, it was about
I
that
never
app.
watched it.
It was
No,
about
it
that
was-
app, and
yeah.
Rob Lowe
Yeah.
used the app a lot.
The one Mickey Rooney apparently uses.
He doesn't need to use it. He's Mickey Rooney. He's a national
And he's
treasure.
dead.
I mean, yes. He's probably in one of those coffins that the kids in Steve's movie threw out of a window.
Yeah, and that's why it was so heavy.
Because Mickey Rooney's corpse was inside of it.
Yeah.
That'd be like 20 pounds max. No, actually, after all the shit I've heard that he's done, he would be very heavy because he would have the heaviest heart. Let's see.
Because it was so large.
I don't think Steve
So
answered the question.
filled with guilt.
I don't think Steve answered the question of the steamy sex scene.
I mean, of course there was. It's a Disney Channel made for TV movie.
So
Those
there
are
were-
two
of course.
things.
So there were many.
I don't even know if there was a real kiss in my movie.
I don't think anybody kissed in mine.
Because if it, I mean,
It was
'cause
all just eye contact.
the vampire was going for it, and he couldn't make it. He could not seal the deal. Every time he went in for it, Carolyn Ray was like, "Hey, let's do anything else," because at the
like
end,
finger in.
because at the end, she's about to shut him down
I'm
because
not a slut.
the vampire is trying to make
No
things
kisses.
happen. The vampire is trying to just get her to his house without using his powers. But she's like, after tonight, I realized that, this isn't me. Like, what you're trying to do, like, that's not something that I'm interested in, and I'm sorry, but, I think it was a nice night, but I don't see this going anywhere. And he's like, F it, and then just, like, mind controls her.
All right. That is. That's pretty rocky
No,
slope.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's still nowhere near close to molesting children.
Hey, I never said that was in the movie. I may have implied.
I mean,
that
then
it happened.
how do you know about it?
I may have implied that it was behind
in the
scenes.
featurette.
It's like that movie about the Brady Bunch making their movie, and then you find out that all the Brady Bunch people were actually fucking one another. That's what this was. It was a documentary I watched about family.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, see, exactly. Charlie, what do you got?
I would take one of your guys' questions and say that if it was a piñata, what would it look like and what would it be filled with? And hold on, you can't say like
Damn it.
garlic and shit, and you can't say gumballs or popcorn.
Okay. All right.
All right.
You can take a little time if you want.
So
Or Tyler, you go first. I've been having Steve go first on this.
Okay, fine. So my pinata, the pinata would be a fan.
Shape of Mickey Rooney.
Well, I was
You
gonna-
wouldn't want to beat the shit out of that.
no,
thing.
it'd be a Mickey Rooney pinata because it would have such significant volume in the main chest cavity.
Because his body's fucked up.
He's a
Well, I mean, the man.
he is a rotund man.
He's like 5 foot tall, so you could just use him. as-
That is a messy pinata scenario.
no, I was gonna say the Phantom. It was going to be the Phantom.
And Mickey Rooney's inside.
Yeah,
Because
but
he is.
But then it really isn't Mickey Rooney because that's the twist. Is they want you to think it's Mickey Rooney, and apparently Charlie.
I mean, no, from the sounds of it, Mickey Rooney is inside the Phantom regardless of whether he is the Phantom or not.
is. I can't confirm nor deny that.
Sounds like you didn't watch the movie. Is this another Charlie
Do you
walking
want-
out case?
No, do you want? I mean, I can tell you the Phantom
It was
was.
so bad he walked out of his own.
Yeah.
I'm done with this.
I'm done here. Okay, Steve.
For my pinata, it would probably be a Ferrari.
I
'Cause-
forgot he has the
'Cause
red whip.
Well, is it a Ferrari? I don't know what kind of car it is. It's just a red sports
We
car.
didn't watch the movie.
Yeah, but I don't know cars.
The
But
Disney Pixar film.
yeah, I do not. I've never seen that.
Oh, well, me
Actually, I've seen the first one. I haven't seen Cars 2, but
probably better for it.
probably. But it's a real fast sports car that he bought with like cash the night of the date so that he could go on this date. But the pinata would look like the car, and when you beat it open, I guess is the only way to put that. Inside would probably be like bloody steak because when they go to dinner, he's like, why don't you get the steak rare? It's good for the blood. It's like it's the only food in the entire film.
Is blood or steak?
Steak,
Okay.
like a rare steak.
I'm just imagining a pinata.
Oh, no,
But then again, mine had
No, I'm
Mickey
sorry.
Rooney falling out of it.
I'm sorry. Steak wouldn't fall out of it. I made a mistake. It would be chocolate chips. It would be chocolate chips because to get the mom to go to the grocery store to meet the vampire,
They set a trail of chocolate chips on the ground.
no, the kids.
Boink. Boink.
The kids basically abuse her emotionally because it's right after the mom telling them that their dad is about to get remarried, and they're at dinner and the kids just look real sad and like, remember when we used to have pancakes on Saturday morning when we were like a real family? And the mom's like, I can make pancakes tomorrow, and she's like, oh, I got all the stuff here, and they're like,
Not
oh
even
crap,
worth
we
it.
do have all this stuff here. Like, but what about chocolate chips? We always had chocolate chips. And then, like, the next shot is them pulling into the supermarket. I'm like, wow, you kids are assholes.
Pretty sad. Yeah, that's
See, I
fucked up.
was gonna say that's actually the bones of Mickey Rooney inside of my pinata, and then
The bones of Mickey Rooney.
yeah, well then Nick Cage comes in and says we found them because he is a national treasure, and you guys are putting words into my mouth saying that he fingered children on the set.
And this is all things that Nick Cage say in the new movie.
Yeah.
National Treasure 3, The Quest for Mickey Rooney's Bones,
Yeah.
to prove he never touched those children.
Specifically the children in Phantom of the Megaplex.
They like come in, like, get these to the DNA lab.
I know that he didn't touch those children.
And like they do, they're
Mr.
like,
Cage, the results are in. My God, he did finger those kids.
and then like,
Fade to black.
and the person would be like,
This is dark.
like, not only would he have washed his hands, but like, there should be no DNA evidence. This is 20 years later. There's no skin anymore.
Those Mickey Rooney
There was-
bones.
We found semen on his bones. His semen on his bones.
What would that do against
When he-
him if they found his own own semen.
Confirm that it was
No. What that would
And-
prove was that he donated to a sperm bank and now has millions of children
And they're
around the
like,
world.
they were like, and Nick Cage
and that's when the real twist comes, is that one of those kids.
is Nick Cage.
No, it's one of the kids that's favorite.
Oh, you took that in a way darker direction than I was.
I was saying that one of the kids was Nick Cage. So he found the bones to his real dad. But originally I was going to say they also
Unlocks
found...
those traumatic memories.
I was going to say they also found Nick Cage's DNA on the bones.
We need to stop this immediately.
Probably.
We're gonna get flagged and removed.
Fair enough. Charlie, let's do we have any final thoughts?
Final.
I mean, I feel like I've said what I need to say.
I guess for me.
There's that scene. There's a scene where they're like, is there anywhere where we can get on the internet? Is there some place we can use it?
How does internet?
And they go into.
I've heard of that. That's
they go
new,
to the,
right?
They go to
It's
the
a
one
series of tubes.
They go to the one room with a computer that also has its keyboard attached to it, and they're like, "Here we go." Because somebody's like, let's go to a message board. What's that?
Well, a message board.
Let me hop on AOL Instant Messenger.
I gotta change my away message.
One of my contacts, Meat Rocket 69, knows all about creepy stuff.
Hold on. We're about to get kicked off. Hand me that other 500 hours of AOL time. Mine also had some awesome computer work. He goes online to look up Malachi Van Helsing. He goes to the website and it starts off as just like a fuzzy image, and then like reloads into a slightly better looking image.
And he was
it
like,
does it a few times until it's an actual image.
and they're like, "Are you sure it can load this image?" And he said, "It's okay. Don't worry, guys. This computer's got 16K of RAM."
It's like,
That's a lot.
okay. But for mine, probably the best thing is that it actually kind of called back to a lot of actual classic horror movies. The kid's room,
Kid's mom is actually dead, and he was playing her the whole time.
Yeah.
And he goes in and stabs the vampire to death in the shower.
Turns out this was
My
a
God.
combination of Dracula and Psycho. No, he has
Dracula
a
3000.
Homage to the classics.
he has a poster, like an original poster for the Bela Lugosi Dracula. Mm-hmm. And it looked really good. Like
From
they showed up.
Plan 9 of Outer Space.
Oh god. No, not that one. And also when they go into town following his mom, there's actually a banner. Well, I guess a key. Oh my god. Why can't I think of that? A marquee for Halloween, and I believe either Frankenstein or Dracula. It's another classic horror movie. Is the other movie playing at the theater? So that was actually kind of cool that they kind of referenced some of these big horror movies of yore, despite it being clearly for children.
Yeah. A little nod for the parents.
Yeah. And the other good thing was that his younger brother, who's 8, is just constantly telling people ask him things, and his response is like, "What do you want from me? I'm 8." Like when Van Helsing comes to their house because he's tracking down the vampire. He's like, where'd your mom go with this vampire? Oh, I think they were going dancing. Where would you go dancing? I'm 8. Like, where do you think I go dancing at weddings when my parents make me? So that just happens a lot.
All right. Well, I'm not going to add anything. We're going a little bit long here on this part, so I think we need to wrap up here on final thoughts. So, Steve, is there anything else you want to say, though, Steve?
Honestly, my movie wasn't terrible. It was. It kind of falls into the same meh Disney tropes.
We're not at real thoughts yet, Steve. So slow your roll.
No, I mean it's a basic horror monster movie.
Gotcha.
Like nothing crazy out of the ordinary, which I think was described through the things, but it was solid. It did exactly what it wanted to do well.
All right.
We're all children safe on the set of your movie.
Yes. At no time were any children in danger. As a matter of fact, at the end, it was like no children were harmed in the filming of this movie.
Unlike
Was not. With that warning did not come up on my screen.
Yeah, they definitely had no warning.
Since we spent, by the way, the Phantom of the Megaplex was the goddamn manager. It was not Mickey Rooney. It was the manager of the movie.
He got promoted. Good job, Mickey Rooney.
Mickey Rooney didn't even work there.
Really climbed that ladder, and that's a lot for Mickey Rooney.
Any ladder.
Yeah. Step, whatever.
Anyway,
I'm now imagining the pressure that would be on his joints as he hung onto a ladder.
we're
First step, where am I?
we're going in hard on this dead guy. This has been a Mickey Rooney roast.
Movie versus episode, 16?
Yeah.
The roast of Mickey Rooney.
The roast of Mickey Rooney. That's just the subtitle.
The slander of Mickey Rooney.
Yeah, we're gonna get.
Or is it libel? Which one's written? Which one's
either.
You say slander.
Yeah.
Either or we're getting a letter in the mail that's a cease and desist. Please remove this episode.
Let them try.
Censor all.
No,
your
they'll do a real
mentions.
good job at that. Like that will,
Anyway.
it will be down by Thursday afternoon.
Which is when we post it Thursday morning, down Thursday afternoon. Download it quick, boys, and females. But yeah, no, let's. Charlie. Final thoughts. My final thoughts are done. I'll concede to my final thoughts being done.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you got for us?
So
here?
it is a little tricky, though. I don't know. I think the one that I would go back and rewatch. Well, I would maybe rewatch both of them, but I think I'd be more tempted to see Steve's.
Oh,
so I would.
yes.
I'll give it to Steve's. The main draw to yours would be
Mickey
that, like,
Rooney.
I know that motherfucker's the Phantom, but then it's like I don't have to prove anything to anybody, so I already know that shit.
I like that I've won out of spite that Tyler's.
No, but I do, and no,
that I'm right and Charlie cannot admit the fact that.
And Charlie will not see it to never know,
Yeah.
to never have like.
No, I know Mickey Rooney's the Phantom, so I'm not even gonna bother watching that shit again. You lying piece of shit. If I just went the whole time saying Mickey Rooney was the Phantom, I probably would have won that.
More likely to.
God damn it.
Well, yeah,
All
because
you
at
have to
least
do
you'd be
is-
telling the fucking truth. Then.
All you have to do is lie about your film, which is
I
literally
was
literally all we do.
I was gonna say it's what we do, but I'm telling the truth.
No, but Steve's I like the
Yeah.
that idea.
Of your mom dating a vampire. You
Yeah,
like
it's
that idea?
awesome.
I mean, because then
Check the classifieds.
yeah, check
Mom,
for emails.
mom for man.
Check for emails of Wolfsbane at like Netherlink.
It's more like mom for
.net.
vampire, so MFV.
So okay, I want to hear the real thoughts on these.
Who do you want to go first?
Steve, you go first this time.
I mean, honestly, the movie wasn't terrible. It was just very unmemorable. There were like a couple good moments, but overall, it was just kind of a very bland, like paint by numbers monster movie. They were just like, all right, okay, so we gotta get a vampire to attack these children. What's like the best way for an adult to interact around children?
Don't ask Mickey Rooney.
them dating the parent. Like that's the quickest way to get an adult into a child's life that isn't like just teacher.
We should have
you
a
know?
Mickey Rooney fucking roast counter for this.
But it's a
Ding! Ding!
You should. First sound effects ever on this.
We'll do it. We'll just run it back. We'll listen to it, and me and Jar will ding our own ding.
So, did you enjoy yourself at all while watching it, though? I mean,
Yeah,
was
it was
enough,
fine.
Okay,
Like,
this is
I'll be-
corny Disney Channel.
I'll be honest. I probably enjoyed myself better than when I went to go see the Jason Bourne movie.
For real?
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Like the Jason Bourne movie was just like super bland. Like this at least had like some good like. I guess it was probably just because I was surprised that some of the jokes were in there. Like, oh, that was a solid joke for what I was expecting here, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I got exactly what I expected for with Jason Bourne. This one surprised me and it had a few turns on its jokes.
Okay, Tyler.
I mean, I guess the same as Steve. if I'm being honest though, Charlie, Mickey Rooney was not the Phantom. I don't.
Just if you take away one thing from this
Yeah,
podcast, for the love of God, Mickey Rooney was not the Phantom.
Can't wait to hear the bumper at the end of this that says, hey, Mickey Rooney actually was the Phantom.
Hey,
I was just trying to
listener.
fuck with him the whole time.
We're gonna go into IMDb and like just edit in just like Mickey Rooney, movie Mason / Phantom.
and you guys talk about it like they had a fucking opening credits. Where it's like Mickey Rooney as the Phantom.
That's how it was built.
And Rob Schneider's the statement.
He was the gumball machine in that film.
Yeah, he was each individual
He
couple.
still
He's
couldn't even do that right.
He was going, whoa, whoa, whoa. No, he's not the Phantom.
Okay.
This movie was. I spent a lot of this movie in other tabs on the internet.
Just listening to it.
Yes. I guess I gotta agree
think,
with.
like with yours, I think since it's just the Phantom, there's no real opportunity for anything, I guess, scary since you said that it wasn't like, but since you said that it wasn't like any mystical stuff though. I thought maybe like I couldn't remember if it was the Phantom or it's like he has some sort of like
The Phantom starring Billy Zane.
No. Then he probably would have won.
I wish.
If he had some sort of like, power or something like that. I didn't remember if he did or not.
It's just
other
to
than
change
normal
the
Mickey Rooney
films and
powers.
It's just the movie The Phantom playing at a Megaplex.
The Phantom. Yeah, it was actually that actually was never a movie. It was just a trailer for The Phantom at your local Megaplex. The Phantom this weekend at the Megaplex.
That's what I watched. But no,
I mean, if these were on back to back, I'd probably still watch
it
them
was. I mean, it wasn't shit. It was. I mean, it's.
It wasn't shit.
It's. I honestly think, and I feel like most Disney movies are this way, where it's like you could just put it on and go about whatever you're doing. Like it's one of those things that you can just put on in the background,
Yeah.
and you can be fine. Like it's. You don't really need to.
Full
pay,
attention.
Your full attention.
I
doesn't
mean, they
matter.
already freaking tell you Mickey Rooney's a Phantom in the trailer, so.
Yeah, no, Mickey Rooney was not the Phantom. Going into critic thoughts, we don't have much.
Oh yeah. Are there any?
There are no Rotten Tomato scores.
There
for
are some
either.
angry 15-year-olds being like, "Why was Mickey Rooney not the Phantom?" I went in this knowing what to expect.
There are the audience scores. Mom's Got a Date with the Vampires at 50%, and we've got some reviews, not critic reviews, but we've got some fan reviews.
50% is not terrible.
We've got 2.5 stars, and the review is the cutest.
Please tell me there was a smiley face involved.
No exclamation point. And then we've got a 3-star review that is, this is very funny TV movie. And
That I downloaded in Ukraine.
Watch full movie for free. Download from this link.
and that's
Star.
and then I just can't believe Charles Shaughnessy could stoop so low to star in such a low budget crud. Same goes to Robert Carradine.
When I was like looking for a video of this movie, I saw like Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire. Robert Carradine gets hit in the head with a baseball, and like I wasn't thinking, and I thought it was David Carradine, and I was like, David Carradine's in this movie. I got super excited for a second.
He's toast too.
Phantom of the Megaplex is at a 57% audience score, and it actually has one critic review, and it's fresh.
From where? What newspaper?
Cinema Crazed. I don't know. Felix Vasquez Jr. says it's an unusual but entertaining Disney Channel original movie. He put an acronym. He put DCOM. That
The old DCOM. Because actually, this is the thing. My Date with the President's Daughter isn't a Disney
It's
Disney
not a
Channel
DCOM?
original. Yeah, it's like a Disney movie, but it's not because it's.
Gotcha.
Did that actually get like released?
No, but it was in. It might have been released on another. Like it was a Disney Channel spotlight movie on.
Yeah.
Originally on like ABC or something, because they also had like at a time there was a time where they also had like a Sunday night Disney Channel or Disney movie that they played that would come out, but they weren't considered Disney Channel original movies because they weren't on the Disney Channel originally.
Well, anyway, what I was saying, this guy said an unusual but entertaining DCOM that really does have its heart in the right place. ... And then we've got, God damn it, I feel like this is just gonna go to what Charlie fucking says. 2-star review, pretty boring. Plot didn't really go anywhere. Cute, predictable ending. Younger kids, 6 to 10, would probably like this movie more. And then a 5-star review. I love this movie. One of my personal...
Finally, you're reading one of my reviews.
I love this movie. One of my
Podcast Steve.
One of my personal favorites from childhood. I remember.
Posted yesterday.
Hold on, holy shit! There is no period in this entire post. So
I don't even know what that punctuation mark is.
cut me some slack here. There's a lot of commas. I love this movie. One of my personal favorites from childhood. I remember when this movie premiered on Disney Channel. It hasn't played
Pick up the
on
speed.
here.
You gotta read this like there's no periods.
Well, there's some commas. It hasn't played on here forever. I'm hoping it does this Halloween. 5 stars.
No period even at the end?
No.
Maybe their button was broke.
But there are 3 commas.
It was not my period works.
There are 3 commas in this, though.
Good old comma splice, my old friend.
But yeah, so I guess the critics didn't really have much to say. Audience members had very little to say. But yeah, other than that, I mean, is that all we do? Is that
pretty
it?
much.
This is running pretty long. We're over an hour right now, so I guess.
Oh dang.
Yeah, I mean, there was.
You can cut out some Mickey Rooney jokes if you want.
Please cut
That
out.
sounds-
I feel
that
like
sounds like work for me, and I mean,
I feel like out of respect to him and his family, a lot of it should be removed.
because they're gonna.
I think
listen
more
to
out of
this.
respect to listeners, not to, I don't care.
I also that it got pretty weird there.
No, I'm not gonna do that. But if you are a listener, thank you very much. And
Note that I was not involved, listeners.
make sure that you
You were complicit.
When you're talking with your friends, you'll be like, at least Steve stayed out of it. That's why he's my favorite.
Because he was just grinning and nodding the entire time.
Make sure you share the podcast like the good word and put little Gideon's type Bibles inside of hotel room drawers that just say Movie Versus Podcast and
They're like asterisk next to episode 16. Normally don't talk about fingering this much. We did all that talk about fingering and not a single bush or jizz mentioned. That's pretty impressive, though.
Hey, we almost made a whole episode without doing it, and you did it.
Well, referencing it, but not bringing it up.
Boo
to
a Medea
incorporate it.
Halloween does.
Which is the greatest thing you can do to anybody. Which is forcing them to see Boo Media.
I'm ready to watch some non-horror movies, though, for a while.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, not that these are
But
horror.
I guess we should plug the old friends of the network,
Yeah. Well, I mean
or our network.
The network, the Three Wise Media Network, which also includes Three Wise Radio. Check them out. I think they're doing every Tuesday now. They moved to Tuesday instead of Monday, so they're doing Tuesdays, new episodes.
Oh my God, they're foxing it.
Exactly. And thanks to Jeremy Lamb for the intro
As
song.
always.
Yes.
And again, thanks to the listeners out there. You guys are awesome for continuing to listen,
Bearing with
spreading
us.
the word, and all that shit. And yeah, listening to all our dumbass fucking jokes. Next week is a prequel episode, and it will be fan-picked
Not
movies.
featuring me.
So,
Charlie
shit.
is-
Charlie's not going to be here for the prequel.
Oh, we're gonna
so
have a guest.
I keep forgetting that. We will
My
figure that
God.
out.
But
Ruining the
Tyler's
surprise for
picking, so it shouldn't be
everybody.
that big a deal.
Correct. It never is. So yeah. Other than that, bye.
Movie Versus is a production of Three Wise Media. For more information, check us out on Facebook.